Sickos Club.
Sickos Club.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to The Hard Way. I am your host, the non-binary nuisance themselves, Brett Michelle. Hello, and I am here with my co-hosts, the always annoying I Blade Daily. Hello, Blade. How are you?
Hi.
And the toast of the third coast himself, who fucking waxed, vaxxed, and ready to.
I shaved my entire body this weekend. I was on vacation and it was a healing process, and I thought it was time for the beard to go. It will be coming back.
He is vaxxed, waxed, and ready to kick that ass.
Yeah.
The toast of the third coast, Professor Degree, Cadillac Margarita.
Hi. I drove through a fucking blizzard to get here.
Did you?
Way. I was caught in that shit. Yeah, because I went up to Michigan over the weekend. And then it was like, you should probably go home tonight because tomorrow's going to be really bad. And on like 96, there was like a 100-car pileup and shit, which is not the path I would have taken home. But I did drive through a blizzard. It sucked. And I had to be.
My friend in Chicago did tell me it was snowing like crazy today. And she was real upset because her and her wife have to go do errands. And that's not fun in the snow.
Nope.
I wouldn't know. I'm in San Diego. It's like 70 degrees today. Yeah. I'm chilling.
It's fucking wilderness.
Yeah, well, in case it wasn't insane enough, the things that are, happening in the world revolving everything, we're going to be watching, we watched a pay-per-view from 1990 called Capital Combat, which seems really relevant.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, Robocop is on. We're talking about...
Yes.
The overreach of one's jurisdiction, perhaps?
We are talking about WCW's Capital Combat what's the dot called in grammar or in language writing?
It's a semicolon, right?
No, it's the other
that's
one.
Not semi. What the
fuck? 2 dots? Is that a colon?
Anyway, Capital Combat Return of Robocop, and this was a one-time pay-per-view from the National Wrestling Alliance, held under the WCW name, and it took place on Saturday, May 19th, 1990, at the DC Armory in Washington, D.C. In attendance were 7,500 screaming idiots. It was a really hot crowd. That was probably my one favorite part of the show, is the crowd was fucking hyped.
Mm-hmm.
They were.
They even, like, it was 1990, so it was the prime era of, like, painting someone's name on your shirt and everyone choosing a letter, like, in full effect.
It also kind of looked like a Dynamite taping, didn't it? Didn't it kind of remind you of
a little bit?
It
was it had a good vibe. I liked it.
Yeah.
It was an interesting
WCW ran a lot of shows, big shows from armories and stuff like that. I remember, hearing that they were always going to be at some armory in Maryland or, the South somewhere or whatever, because they never came to my fucking location because fucking they were against me actively. But
well, the Pacific Northwest is depressing as fuck. Who wants to go there? I mean, like, can you blame Kurt Cobain for the ending?
Whoa, too far, way too far.
I would have done the same thing if I was living in the rain every goddamn day.
By the way, I've been watching Hardcore TV ECW from 1994, and the Harris brothers come out, and the first time they appear on the show, they just blatantly have SS tattoos on their arm. And then the next week, there's like, they both have a bandage over them. Like somebody saw them go out there and they're like, wait a minute, are those Nazi tattoos? They come back, through the curtain. They're like, guys, are those Nazi tattoos? And they're like, oh yeah. No, those are definitely Nazi tattoos.
Right.
So they had to cover those up.
Just put a butterfly Band-Aid
I have
on
a lightning bolt on my finger that I'm always like, I hope people don't assume it's like a...
I wouldn't worry
be careful. Gotta be careful.
But I got it, I got this a while ago, like before, it became a big thing to where, like, everyone you pass on the street, you're like, are you a secret Nazi? Or
Oh, dude, one of my buddies, they're in their band, they printed up shirts that have like a Viking helmet on it and with lightning bolts. And I'm like, I don't really want to wear this. Like, I'm kind of afraid of what it looks like.
Check this out.
And they just like Thor. Like,
when I was in my early 20s and I was, pretending to be a big, strong boy and whatever, and I was working construction, I got a tattoo it was just like 2 crossed sledgehammers, and then like a laurel leaf, because the old school traditional tattoo. But now, like, all of that shit, like, looks like probably, like, I didn't want anyone to assume I was like some fucking Proud Boy schmuck. I literally bought a tattoo gun and did this myself and blacked it out. Just so nobody would, like, mistake me for some Proud Boy chud. I literally blacked the shit out myself.
My dad, this is a few years back now, printed up a bunch of hats. Bright red hat with a Polish eagle in our family's last name and white lettering. And I'm like, well, I can never wear this hat. Thanks. Like, not that I'm really wearing a hat with my family's name on it, but, But it's funny because some members of my family still wear that hat.
You should. Didn't you see that post I made the other day about how pro wrestling's like the one like profession where it's like totally cool to just like wear a shirt with yourself on it to work?
That's true.
Like, we need to make that we need to bring that back. Like, I should go to my retail job wearing a shirt that's just got me on it, like drop kicking a case of groceries or something,
Right.
I agree. Cadillac, you might have been too embarrassed to wear that hat, but I'll tell you who looked pretty embarrassed to me, and that was Tony Schiavone, because Tony Schiavone had just returned to WCW from his venture into the WWF. The first time I ever watched a WWF show, Tony Schiavone was on the call, actually. And
he looks so handsome, though.
Was it Schiavone with the mustache era?
No, this is Schiavone post-mustache.
Okay.
So, freshly post. So
like he has like a tan. He's tan everywhere except for right here.
Yes. Then they played the national anthem, and I immediately got triggered. I was very upset. I was having trauma flashbacks. I wanted to kill everything.
The live band started playing like the fucking super patriotic song that I don't even know which one it was. And then like there's pyro going on. Like, I literally thought I clicked the wrong video and was watching like Erica Kirk about to like come out and give a speech about her dead fucking husband.
I found the right pay-per-view and I watched it.
Well, I mean, we all did, Cadillac. We're just talking about how hearing the national anthem now feels like somebody's going to die.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jesus, doesn't it?
It's not really the same. Yeah.
Yeah. So we go down to the ringside call, and we have good old JR, Jim Ross. Sounded much more Southern than he did after he had been in WWE.
Yeah.
And Bob Caudle.
Yeah.
Bob Caudle.
I like Bob Caudle, man.
He's just a good old boy, man. Just like, there's a point.
He sounded like he was having so much fun, though, the whole show. He was just laughing and fucking gaggling on. He was having a blast.
And he's always like, "Oh, Jim, you just called it right on the button there, didn't you? Jim Willikers." Like, he's such a fucking good old boy. I love it.
He is, yeah. There was a Mid-Atlantic show that was on the network, and I was just watching like 1983 Mid-Atlantic or something, and there was a wrestler in there. I can't remember who it was. It might have been Bobo Brazil or somebody like that. And he's like, the big black man from Africa. And it's like, oh my God, dude, that was not relevant to what we were watching, really. Like, we can see that he's black. Also, he was a big
Bob Caudle, sure to tell you the race of everyone in the ring.
Yes,
any given,
my uncle.
It's like
he's an uncle wrestler.
It's like when your uncle's like at a barbecue. He's like, yeah, that's what I was talking to my friend. He's black.
I was just about to say that. I have an uncle who does that, and he has one friend of color, and he's the only friend he ever talks about. But every time he ever mentions him, he has to tell you that he's black, which is like, you've already said that today. Like, I know.
What is the relevance? Like, why are you telling me that? What,
yeah, I don't think I need to know this to like hear the rest of this story.
If you are older than a certain age, you absolutely have to tell everyone's race, unless they're white. Then you don't ever have to mention that because I guess that's the default.
And from there, we go to the ring, After Bob Caudle goes, "Oh, Jim, where am I?" And then we go to the ring.
Oh, hey, Jim. Also, real quick, I made sure I wrote this down the right way. The ropes are blue, white, and yellow, and that's like, I don't know, that just like triggers a happy, warm place in my heart when I see ropes of that color in that combination with turnbuckles that don't have even a fucking company logo on them. Because maybe you're not sure what the company is right now. Are you in NWA or WCW yet?
Well, that's okay. So that's one thing I've never, I guess, because you guys know I was a WWF kid. I'm like, WCW was later for me. What was the deal with, like, when did it become WCW and not like NWA presented by WCW?
It's
early 90s,
presented
right?
as NWA till about 1991, 92. And then it formally became WCW on screen. WCW Saturday Night was actually just called World Championship Wrestling for a long time. The Saturday Night Show, which was kind of their big weekly show. And
okay.
So the company title actually comes from the Saturday Night Show title?
Well, what's interesting about that, and I'm glad you mentioned it, Degree, is Georgia Championship Wrestling, which was the last promotion. We just reviewed a house show of theirs. Their Saturday show was called World Championship Wrestling. That's what Vince McMahon bought out.
Yeah.
Then sold to Crockett, and they kept the World Championship Wrestling name. And then it became the name of the actual promotion at a certain point. And I remember as a kid being very confused because all of a sudden nobody was talking about the NWA anymore when that was all they ever talked about before that. So, yes. So we go to the ring. I think that's where we should go next, is the ring.
For a big old 6-man tag with some big old boys.
We got it's a big, beefy 6-man.
So the Road Warriors, like the baddest dudes on the planet, come down on the back of someone else's motorcycles. It's like your babysitter giving you a ride to the ring. Hey, guys. And then what's his name? Norman the Lunatic comes down on a scooter, which was pretty cool.
JR referred to him as the pajama-clad Norman the Lunatic.
Like for as badass as the Legion of Doom are supposed to be, and it's like, you didn't even ride your own motorcycles down? Come on, guys. Like, what the fuck? You did, like, I don't know.
I think that's
I know they did it a few years later in WWF.
Well, they also, they couldn't take them back.
I don't care.
If they had driven them to the ring, there wasn't somebody to drive it to the back.
Right, but someone else drove them
Bob
to the
Caudle's ring. Like, excuse me, JR, gonna be driving these motorcycles to the back.
Well, doggone, Bob, I can't turn this thing around. I don't know what I'm
doing. Which look of Cactus Jack do y'all like the best?
Well,
which one?
Maybe we should say who's on the other
who's in the
team.
match.
Yeah,
so,
okay.
The other team is Kevin Sullivan, Bam Bam Bigelow, who looks like shit, to be quite honest. He looks like, I quit WWF. Why did I do this? He looks like he's been eating not great.
Bigelow with no sleeves is never
somewhat new. Hadn't been in the business for that long at this point.
Right, but he had already been almost a quasi main eventer in WWF, and he quit. So
it's really off kilter when you see him with no sleeves, because he's got so many tattoos on his head and so many tattoos on his forearms. And then he has giant biceps with the tiniest little kitty tattoo on them. And like, it just fucking throws me off every time. Whatever. That's just me.
And Cactus Jack is their third partner. And this is weird because he looks kind of skinny.
Yeah.
This is when I first saw Cactus Jack. This is one of the first times I had ever seen him. He had just come to WCW.
Why you need to tell the people why this show is so special to you.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, this is the first WCW pay-per-view I ever bought. And I remember specifically I was at a baseball game that I was in Little League at the time, and I was terrible at it. But I hectored my mother.
Hectored her? You hectored her? What does that mean?
I bothered her. I cajoled her.
You heckled.
Come on.
He needled her is what he did.
I threw a fit. I think I can say.
Blade throwing a fit? Never.
Mom,
never would have guessed that.
I'm just going to pretend Brett doesn't exist right now,
Poor baby
like I
Blade.
normally do. I'm disassociating. So, Sir Oliver Humperdinck is the manager of Kevin Sullivan, Bam Bam Bigelow, and Cactus Jack.
Yeah.
Degree.
Yeah.
Humperdinck is one of the weirdest managers ever, right? Like, like his gimmick is that he's a beach bum, right?
I don't know what the fuck his gimmick is supposed to be. Sir Oliver Humperdinck? No, I think his gimmick is supposed to be like a Wolfman Jack kind of a guy. Like maybe he's DJ, or maybe he has involved in the music industry somehow. He has an open shirt. He wears a lot of rings. He wears silk. Do you know what his gimmick is?
No.
He's a leprechaun, perhaps?
Yeah, mulleted leprechaun. You know who he kind of I feel like I've said this about a lot of wrestlers, but he gave me the vibe of Dr. John Rabnak.
Yeah, totally. He's
You
kind
can
of
compare
like
a lot of
Wolfman
people
Jack,
to
right?
Dr. John.
I mean, big bearded, hairy dude with crazy sunglasses, and
like he
I
might
guess
be
they all
Dr.
kind of
Teeth.
look alike to me. Yeah,
Yeah.
he might be Dr. Teeth, exactly. Who is based off of Dr. John Rabnak,
and is close enough to Wolfman Jack that it somehow makes sense in my brain.
If none of you know who Dr. John was, he made that song, well, it must be the right place, but it must be the wrong time.
It's a good song.
But a better song is the one he plays on The Last Waltz. Such a night.
Thanks, Brett.
This is not the first time that The Last Waltz has come up.
Yeah.
It's the greatest concert movie ever.
It is really good. I don't even think I have any notes.
There's no Paul Ellering.
No, because he's getting involved for another match later on.
I was kind of surprised by that. Also, later this year, I just think it's worth mentioning that Sir Oliver Humperdinck joins the Freebirds, who become more of a stable, and he becomes Big Daddy Dink.
And that makes sense. Like, that's in line with everything we've been saying up to this point.
It's like Doug's neighbor on the cartoon, Mr. Dink.
It's basically Oliver Humperdinck, Michael Hayes, and like Chris Jericho kind of all have the same gimmick of like, I'm not really a rock star, but I really wish I was a rock star.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I do love that later in this, when the Freebirds come out, they call them the greatest rock and roll band of all time, and they proceed to have the worst intro music ever that Michael Hayes sang.
Dude, I love Bad Street USA. I don't know what you're talking about. That song rules.
You would. Dude, this song is so fucking good.
Yeah.
This is also it might be their very last appearance on television at the very least. The Road Warriors is their last appearance in WCW until they're leaving for WWF in the summer. So kind of significant there.
Y'all didn't answer my question.
What's that?
What's your favorite look for Cactus Jack? Later period with the wanted shirt, or weird dude in leopard pants?
So my favorite is actually in between those two things. So the wanted shirt is like, is that a WCW thing that he takes to ECW?
The wanted shirt?
Yeah.
No, that was more
ECW,
like,
isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then it's before WWF.
But there's this period where he wrestles in a poncho kind of thing. And it's like this Southwestern looking poncho because he's from Truth or Consequences, New Mexico. That's my favorite Cactus Jack look.
Did he do that shit where he would take the bottom of a t-shirt and like cut it into little strings and then put beads? Yeah, I can't do that. I'm sorry.
Apparently you can't handle awesome things. No surprise
not
there.
That. No
not surprise.
That specifically that awesome. Yeah, I like kind of WWF era Cactus Jack, like a little more junk in the trunk, got the t-shirt, looking like kind of like just grosser, like, but cooler.
Better
like,
beard, you know?
Like he was a man at that point. Like
bigger hair. I think that's what I liked.
What's that?
Bigger hair.
Yeah, he looks unclean and like unwashed. Where here it's like you see him and you're like, oh, he just puts on jeans and goes out and like lives his day as a normal person. But by the time you saw Cactus Jack like later on, it was like that guy was fucking off the rails. Like, so that's the one I like better. Yes.
Hawk throws a vertical drop kick from just a standing position in this match, and it looks like it murdered whoever got hit by it. I think it was Foley.
Yeah,
He just seems like the guy who's like, you're the new guy on the block. We're just going to beat the shit out of you.
Dude. And Foley there's no bump that man won't take. I mean, he's just fucking going into the crowd. He's going like off the top ropes and shit. I mean, whatever. I know we always say about Foley, but holy
Hawk
shit.
or Animal throws him into the railing, and he flips over the railing into the crowd with no warning.
Yeah.
And then Hawk picks up the ring steps and throws them over the railing and hits him with them. He doesn't even know they're coming. Like,
Dude.
They don't even tell him.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I'm going to throw the ring steps at you.
Man. Oh, God.
That's crazy. That's crazy shit.
The only note I wrote is I literally wrote Norman the Lunatic, and that's it.
I think the best part about that guy was they do this whole setup for that fucking scooter, and the Legion of Doom came on the motorcycles, and then Norman the Lunatic comes out in a scooter, and the camera catches it for approximately like 1/5 of a second, and that's it.
Yeah.
And it's like, what? All that fucking work, and you didn't even catch it on camera. And that's kind of a theme throughout the night with a lot of it.
Yeah.
Like Gigante, but we'll get into that.
Oh, my God.
Jesus. Holy shit.
I had no idea he was on this card, and I was so excited to see him.
It seemed like nobody else knew either.
No, he did not even seem. He is that rare breed, not even rare breed, but like the dude that's like 8 feet tall and doesn't seem to have ever seen professional wrestling before, ever. And doesn't like throws punches so slow. You know, like he doesn't
I
even
love
know
that he
he's
was
there.
just smiling the whole time he was out there, too.
He's like he looks like a gentle soul. Anyway.
He does. He looks like a gentle soul. Hawk pins Kevin Sullivan with a clothesline from the top.
Yeah.
Fun brawl. I thought it was a fun match,
It
honestly.
was fine.
Yeah, no, it's fun to watch.
It.
Yeah.
I liked it better than the next match.
Oh, God. Well, next up, we've got Johnny Ace versus Mean Mark. That's right. The Undertaker pre-taker.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Versus Sex Pest Johnny Ace. Actually, not Sex Pest. I mean, really much worse than that.
Yep. Pest seems like just kind of like an irritating word.
Yeah,
like,
he's more than that.
He doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like much more than that.
Alleged offender.
Yes.
I do love that Mean Mark's music is just a bastard ass, like ripped off version of Sabbath's Paranoid.
Yeah, totally.
I thought it sounded like the Rockers theme song, so I don't know. I was kind of lost in
it.
that.
It was totally just Paranoid from Black Sabbath, played like a couple beats slower.
Right. It's a lot of WCW. This match was perfect in the sense that I could tell these guys were made for WWF because they can do the moves and they do them, but there's just no soul to this match whatsoever.
None.
Imagine if the core of the earth had just opened and both of these guys fell in and then it closed.
Yep.
Just right then. Like, think of all the things that wouldn't have happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
We would, I mean, Blue Lives Matter may not have ever happened without The Undertaker. Also, big shout out. Teddy Long was the manager of The Undertaker.
Yeah.
Or of Mean Mark Callis, I should say. And Teddy, you know, so...
I'm not going to lie. That is a good name. That is a good wrestling name, though. Mean Mark Callis. That's a good, like, 80s, early 90s wrestling name.
Did you notice JR had to jump in about him being a former basketball player and what conference he played in?
Dude.
Yeah.
Fucking Jim Ross. I mean, we'll get to it in the main event, but that guy, like, I know more about Lex Luger than probably Lex Luger even knows about himself at this point.
That's true. Yeah.
But yeah, he did say that. He said a lot of things. He said that his favorite pet was a snake and his favorite singer is Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah.
That guy that bites the heads off of bats and stuff. Kind of weird.
Yeah, totally.
Kind of weird, right, Bob? And Bob's like, yeah, you're right, Jim. That is kind of weird.
Kids these days. You never can tell.
Ozzy Osbourne, he's that guy that put ants up his dick hole, right?
Yeah.
So this was a match that happened. Whatever.
I was just going to say Johnny Ace has the charisma of throat cancer.
Yeah. I will say you could definitely see a lot of like you could see a little bit of what became like the Undertaker's kind of like move set in a lot of this match. You know, a lot of the things that would become a lot of the things that would become kind of staples of his move arsenal definitely came out in this match. So that was kind of cool to watch. You know, I do love going back and seeing kind of the beginnings of some of the people who would become legends in the business and seeing the little glimpses of it when they first start out. You know what I mean? It ain't all there, and most of it's not pretty at all. But you see those little flashes, and you're like, "Oh, that was it." That's one of the things.
He doesn't do the rope walking, but he like kind of walks partway across the ropes and then does
something way cooler. He does that heat seeker elbow drop where
that was sick as fuck.
Well, so he'd been doing the heart punch, which as a child scared the shit out of me, and now I'm like, that's fucking stupid, right? So like Johnny Ace runs into a heart punch and is down on the mat, just flopping like a fish, and Undertaker walks the ropes and then drops an elbow on him after like 2 steps. In my mind's eye, he had walked like halfway, but it's not.
Yeah.
He just walks a couple
Close
steps.
enough.
Drops the elbow, pins him. Okay. It was a match that happened. However, important, it got an 8 on the Slamometer.
Yeah, they introduced the Slamometer.
And then we never see it again throughout the entire duration of this paper.
They did it one time. One time.
Yeah.
They made such a big deal about it being this hot new thing, and then that was it.
I mean, but when you're doing a top rope elbow like that, I mean, it probably broke the Slamometer or Slamometer, whichever it was.
Yeah.
Slamometer?
I said Slamometer. It's Slamometer. That's what they say.
It's like that story where half the Smurfs say cork Smurf and the other half say Smurf screw, and then the 2 sides of the Smurfs, they just can't decide.
Slamometer sounds like something you would find at a gynecologist's office.
It does kind of. Slamometer. Oh, get the Slamometer over here.
It is definitely understandable why they would forget the Slamometer, you know, because they got too much going on because we cut backstage. And who but the Dean of Pro Wrestling, Gordon fucking Soley, is trying to get a word with Sting and Robocop.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably why it didn't work. All the technology was being utilized to get Robocop up and running.
Yeah. When has bandwidth not been an issue? You know what I mean?
That Robocop.
Which I want to say, and this is part of what's wrong with society, is they booked Robocop as a face. And that just feels wrong.
Right.
There you go.
Even Robocops are bastards. Even if they shoot guys in the dick, they're still...
That's like watching Judge Dredd and thinking that judges were cool, you know?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like when you think Rorschach is the hero of Watchmen. Yes.
Yeah.
Then they have an interview with the Rock and Roll Express, and Robert Gibson said something to Tony Schiavone.
Robert Gibson said, "I've been out all night drinking."
He was fucking cracking me up. Fucking Ricky Morton's like going off, and he's just like, his one eye's going this way, one eye is going that way.
Yeah, dude. Like, what the fuck is that? He's got the Shawn Michaels eyes years before. That's mean. You should edit that
out. It got worse, like, over time. Like, Robert, get the surgery, bro. Like, his eyes are just, whoop.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Robert Gibson. You're a fucking good wrestler.
However, the little hand motions that he does, he's doing some kind of sign language because one of his family members was deaf. And so...
I feel like an asshole.
Yeah, well, you at least you didn't make fun of his eyes the way I did. How do you think
I thought he was just yacked out.
Yeah, no, I mean, he probably had been yacked out. Guys, we have a fucking really, really amazing match coming up with Tommy Rich and Captain Mike Rotunda. What the fuck versus the Samoan SWAT team, the Fatu and the Samoan Savage. Now, I don't say anything, okay?
Yeah.
Mike Rotunda had been in the varsity club. He had been the television champion like 6 months before this. And now he's the captain of a fucking ship.
Hey, I have a question. What kind of boat do you think he was the captain of?
Schooner? A dinghy?
Like he had the vibe of like, you know, he's probably out there on the water blasting some Steely Dan, margarita in hand, you know.
Oh, he's totally a yacht rock guy.
Yeah.
He's listening to Christopher Cross and shit. And that shit was popular in 1983, which was 7 years before this. This is what I want to ask you, fucking librarian man. Mm-hmm. I thought he was the captain of the varsity club, like as in he was the varsity captain.
He was.
And I as you said, I just learned that he was not. Like, where did that come from? You were watching. This was your first pay-per-view. Tell us. He even had an anchor on his pants.
Yes. He had an anchor on his tights.
A cute little anchor.
Have nothing?
Well, here's the thing.
You don't have any insight?
I don't. He was a heel when I started watching. I don't remember how he got here, but he would be IRS like 6 months after this. Mm-hmm. And my observation is that Mike Rotunda is uniquely boring. Like he has no charm at all. Zero connection ability.
There's something about Rotunda I've always liked, though.
But that's probably the thing that I'm. It sounds like a diss, and I know it sounds like a diss, but it's what made IRS work. Like he makes jokes that aren't funny. He's a stuffy asshole, right? He's a boomer. Says things that are blatantly untrue. Remember
he's a real Blade Daily, is what you're saying.
I'm disassociating again. So, remember
I have a SummerSlam hat. You want me to go get it?
Yes.
We did SummerSlam 92. Remember when he's like, well, if you tax cheats would pay your taxes, then the House of Windsor wouldn't have to pay him for you. It's like, what are you talking about? Like, that doesn't even fucking make any goddamn sense.
It did to him, and that's all that matters.
He was a good wrestler, though. Like, he was a very good wrestler.
And this was a great match. Kind of going along with what I was saying about Mean Mark is it's always fun seeing like pre-Kishi era Rikishi. You know what I mean? Because like as a kid, all he was, hey,
what's up, Captain?
Motherfuckers? toot toot, motherfuckers!
Wow. Don't let me interrupt.
So like to me as a kid, like my introduction and all I knew about Rikishi as a kid was like this was the big guy with the big ass that like rubbed it in people's faces. Mm-hmm. And so like as I got older and got into like different wrestling, like being able to go back and see him when he was younger and more agile was so great because he could fucking move, man. Like, and his throat thrusts looked fucking maniacal. Like they looked great. They looked so good.
I thought the SST was awesome. I still do. I think they were great.
And the other guy's Samu, right?
No, Samu. That was the Samoan Savage. But Samu.
Did he used to have a different name?
The Samoan Savage had been.
There were different members of the Samoan SWAT team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Samu was a member in WCW at a certain point, and there were three of them. And then there was something because one of them didn't go to WWF, and the Barbarian actually joined the Head Shrinkers at one point. And was called Sione.
So who's like the Tonga Kid?
The Tonga Kid is the Samoan Savage.
Okay. And he's not Samu?
No.
Okay.
No. The Tonga Kid is the Samoan Savage.
Okay.
So, yeah, exactly. What? They all look the same degree?
No, that is not what I was saying.
Oh, my God. Anti-Samoan sentiment is disgusting.
There's no anti-Samoan sentiment in this household, I'll have you know.
And then Captain Mike Rotundo's partner is Tommy Rich, who is in good shape, by the way.
Yeah.
Looks really good, especially by Tommy Rich standards. But a couple things. Tommy Rich, pretty hard to believe that he was ever a former NWA World Heavyweight Champion 10 years before this for a week. He beat Harley Race lost it back a week later. There's also a point at which Rotunda, there's this long heat segment where Rotunda's just getting his ass beat. There's one time where
it's just a headlock. He's not even getting his fucking ass beat. He's just in a headlock. And then they build it and they build it and they build it. And he's just about to get the tag, but he doesn't. And then he's back in a headlock.
They do two spots where they make the tag behind the referee's back and the ref pushes Tommy Rich out.
And that was
two different times.
Tommy Rich spent this entire match on the apron just clapping.
Dude.
The whole match.
You know who else clapped? No one. No one clapped. Nobody in that arena was clapping. Tommy Rich just keeps going like this, and nobody else is doing it. It was
your
terrible.
mom at this. That was probably the point where your mom was like, "Why the fuck did you make me pay $29.95 for this pay-per-view?"
I'm sure. Yeah. And then something else I noticed. For a guy who stood on the outside almost the entire match, Tommy Rich was really sweaty.
Some people just, have a condition,
Yeah, I sweat a lot. Like, I'm a very sweaty person. My whole family is.
These were the days before, Lumi, like whole body deodorant. So,
well, and then lastly, Tommy Rich is in the ring for about 1 minute. The ref's back gets turned. He gets hit with a double axe handle from behind and gets pinned. Like, Rotunda got his ass kicked for like 15 minutes and manages to make the tag.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
Tommy Rich takes one double axe handle and he's out. It's over. From the top, I guess,
I mean, yeah, that was a powerful. Those guys are Samoan, dude. Fucking powerful.
They're all the same to you, aren't they?
I hear you mumbling under your breath.
What?
Shit
mumbling
about me.
what?
I'm wearing the fucking captain's hat right now. I could legally marry you right now.
Don't marry me.
Someone else. I mean, I could perform your marriage. Next up, it goes to Mr. and Mrs. Robert Denner, who won the Capital Combat 1996 stakes.
But they don't show him yet.
Oh, no, that's not where they show him? Oh.
But they say their name, and they say we're going to recognize the winners of the Capital Combat Sweepstakes, Mr. and Mrs. Denner, or whatever. Don't tell, like you said, don't tell you what they won, what the sweepstakes was for, or anything, and then it just immediately goes to Scott Steiner mumbling his ass off.
This is the greatest promo ever. I don't know why anybody talks about anything else Scott Steiner has ever done, because Rick Steiner babbles out some garbage, but we were used to Rick Steiner doing that. It was like half of his gimmick was that he was an idiot, right? But like Scott then proceeds to cut the mushiest mouth fucking bullshit. We're gonna do, you don't know. And then he goes to Doom, because later on the Steiners are wrestling Doom. He says, "You came here for a title match. Well, you're not gonna get one." But they are getting one later in the show.
Yeah.
All I think of when I think of Steiner now is that clip that goes around online of him and Bully Ray in TNA, where he's like, "Oh, what are you talking about? Big booty daddy."
Scott, this was like, I had secondhand embarrassment, and I mean, bad. This is as bad a promo as you're ever going to see.
Yeah. And he has a freshly shorn mullet. Like, no, go a little bit higher. Go a little bit higher on the ears there.
And Rick has an afro, and he looks even more insane than normal. Oh,
that's my favorite Rick, honestly, is curly haired Rick.
Me too. Yeah.
So the next thing that happened, most important, Missy Hyatt and world-renowned hairstylist Jay Tapper will be in the ring for the next match.
Missy Hyatt's hair was such a vibe. Like, oh man, I popped. I loved it. I'm a big fan. If you can't see, you can't see it. I got Saint Dolly right there. I am a big fan of big hair.
I thought that was going to be Missy Hyatt as the Virgin Mary. I was like, please.
That would also be great.
That's a t-shirt that we need to make pronto.
Yeah.
Missy Hyatt, by the way, as a kid, especially, Missy was like, arrr.
Calm down.
The WCW trading card with the green border.
Oh yeah,
and a lot of Missy Hyatt cards. So here's what's crazy about that next match is it's Paul Ellering versus Ted Theodore R. Long. And like Teddy Long is fucking buff, dude. Like he comes down with no shirt and like he has, I mean, okay, I'm a little skinny guy, but like I would like to be that muscular. He has a 6-pack. He has like discernible muscles. And he's supposed to be like the weak little chump.
He's also got boxing gloves and headgear on. And Paul Ellering looks like fucking Luigi Primo.
Yeah, dude. Paul
looks like
Ellering,
a fucking pizza cook.
Dude, yeah.
Can we also acknowledge that Paul Ellering got the jobber entrance? Like he didn't get any music. He didn't walk down the aisle.
Yeah. Ellering always blows my mind too, because it's like you're as big as the fucking Road Warriors, dude. You're like the manager guy. But
like Teddy Long runs to ringside. He's in good shape because he runs to ringside and he's like putting his fists up in the air.
He can't weigh more than 97 pounds.
Teddy Long fucking rules, man.
Great.
I love Teddy Long.
Absolutely the MVP of this match. But I will say this match was a lot of fun because it was very short. And
it was like 3 minutes long.
But it did everything it was supposed to do. I mean, it made me laugh, I don't know.
Well, and it's two balding guys having a hair versus hair match, which is also very funny.
That's what got me. I was like, no matter who loses, they win because they get rid of the little hair that they have, which will be an improvement.
I know.
Yep. And then, both of them would look better bald. Like Paul's not as bald as he is today, certainly, but it's a very, very, very short match. And Teddy at one point just loads up his boxing glove, and the ref's pulling Ellering off, and he hits Ellering, and Ellering falls. He covers him. He tries to pin him. Ellering kicks out, and then Ellering just grabs his hand, pulls the glove off his hand, takes out what I presume was a pair of brass knucks.
Well, no, he hits him with the glove first.
He hits him with the glove. That's right. He hits him with the glove first. And Teddy fucking falls on his back like a bag of shit. And Ellering pins him.
An object. And you never know what the fuck it is.
Which is like, it's Knuckles. It's supposed to be Knuckles, but back in those days, it's literally like a pencil eraser taped. Like it looks,
like it's the thing they took out a woman's glove later on. Like I have no concept of what it was, like a pipette or something. Like what the fuck was that? Anyway,
it's a fist pack. Yeah, like when you were a kid, and they would say like, if you're gonna get in a fight, like hold a roll of quarters. Behind
right.
Because
it makes your fist stronger.
Yeah,
and then it makes
you
explode.
put your keys between your fingers or something. That's another thing.
Well, that's just you're gonna fucking cut somebody's blade. Jesus, why do you always have to go so far?
Why do you think my name's Blade?
I'm telling you, they're weird and depressed and crazy up there in the PNW.
Anyway,
his name is Blade.
I'm sorry, we're not talking about burritos. Teddy barely got any of his hair cut off, by the way. Can we mention that?
Yeah,
there was
disappointing.
They had a world-class stylist at ringside with Missy. You know what I mean?
There was very little hair shorn.
Yeah. And then Teddy gets up, he's like,
celebrity guy hardly did anything.
Yeah, he didn't do shit. Jay Tapper.
Whatever.
Jake Tapper. That's all I kept hearing was Jake Tapper. Next we get a little interview with the Horseman and Arn Anderson, who just stands directly in front of Shivani.
Yep.
Sid's got a fucking tuxedo on. Like,
I love the tuxedo look.
It's like in Step Brothers when he's like, "Oh, you guys came to the interview in tuxedos." It's ironic.
And Ole Anderson looks like he'd be right at home with fucking Davis and Doyle,
dude,
in AEW right now. Like Jesus, just like a madman.
So one time,
Arn Anderson looks cool as fuck.
He does.
Yeah.
But I went out to California a few years ago, and it was a cloudy day, and I didn't realize you can still get a sunburn on a cloudy day. And my whole head, from like here all the way to here, was just like huge. If I lifted my eyebrows, I'm going somewhere with this. If I lifted my eyebrows, it hurt because I was so sunburned. And that is what Ric Flair's fucking forehead looks like, because it is nothing but scar tissue. And every time he talks, like everybody else is animated, but his forehead doesn't really move because it's just all scar tissue.
I think
gross.
Ole and Flair did a bump right before this interview because Ole is usually Ole is like usually the reserved guy where he like talks kind of quietly and stuff. Arn will yell a little bit. You know, Arn's like in between Jake Roberts and Ric Flair. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Ole's like kind of usually just like, he sounds like he's from the Midwest and he's just very like soft spoken, but he's like, well, tonight, Tony, they're gonna try to take the title off the Nature, but it's not gonna happen.
Everybody was screaming. Even Arn was like, screaming his head off. Arn's like, we're gonna do what we're gonna do because we're independent, but we're all working together. We're like cogs of a machine.
I think they knew how terrible that fucking pay-per-view was, so they're just like, we gotta up this. Like,
and then out of nowhere, Flair, who I think got lost when they were making their entrance or something, like Flair just comes up and all he does is scream. All he does is scream.
It's like nothing. The greatest promo in the business.
Oh my god.
And like Sid is just standing there. Sid doesn't do shit this entire interview. Just standing there in a tuxedo.
Ric Flair in this interview is essentially the baseline for every politician in 2026. Just scream nothing.
And so you've got like fucking Grandpa Ole and fucking Uncle Rick fucking just screaming constantly. And that's the interview. That's all that, and you know, that's all that happens.
The interview was basically them saying that, you know, they're going to keep the title because they're the Horsemen, and that's what they came to do, is keep the title.
That's what they do. Loudly.
Next match.
Another tag match.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of those.
That's most of the show. So they had so many tag teams in this company that they have a secondary tag title. They have the U.S. tag titles, which is insane. And it's the Midnight Express versus Brian Pillman and Tom Zink. Okay.
The Z-Man.
Yeah. The Z-Man. Pillman and Z-Man look like strippers. Okay. Stan Lane and Bobby Eaton are trying to look like strippers. They look like
those guys in their fucking orange sherbet.
Hey, call them by their Christian names. Beautiful Bobby and Sweet Stan. Lauren Bobert's daddy.
What? He's not actually. It's been proven that he's not.
I know.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. It's just the right shade of orange where they might be naked in a couple shots. You're not 100% sure. Like, that was great.
Yeah. You talking about Pillman's tights?
No, the Midnight Express and they're like orange sherbet tights. Like, it's like, just, I don't know. Maybe go a little bit darker on the orange. You look a little bit
and these
naked.
weren't their usual tights. They were usually like in green or like, you know, like blue or something. But you see FTR's look, that rainbow thing they do, that is a tribute to the 100%. Midnight Express. And also the OG Midnight Express music is not on this video. Because if it was, you'd realize that FTR's music is also a tribute to the Midnight Express. So the Midnight Express, I will put their entrance music up there with anybody. It's really just what's that?
It's from the movie. It's dung 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 dung.
It's from the movie Midnight Express.
Yes, it's what's his name?
It's
not Morricone. It's a guy.
Giorgio Moroder. Yeah,
there you go. That was a deep dive.
Jim Cornette has to be in a little cage that's just on the side to the side.
Which is every fucking NWA match with.
But I love how they got him into it. Was fucking the ref Randy Anderson hits him with a fucking clothesline.
Yeah, he's just sick of his shit. Like, get in the fucking cage.
Every fucking match that is involved in, he's in a cage.
Yes, and this cage would prevent nothing. Like, if you have an object to give somebody, these bars are way far apart. Like, so you could so easily do it. Like, Cornette could easily cheat. But they actually don't generally cheat in this match. Now, every NWA match had a basic construct. They wrestled like every WCW match basically worked the same. The baby faces start off hot with the momentum. Then at some point, the heels slow them down. There's a really long heat period. There might be a period where the babyface start to mount a comeback and get cut off, or they might just do their babyface comeback, then the finish. The problem is they had already done that with all the other matches leading up to this. So only an hour has gone by, and I feel like I've watched an AEW pay-per-view. Okay, like Mean Mark and Johnny Ace had a 15-minute match. Like, I didn't need that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So this match is actually pretty good.
It felt like watching an AEW pay-per-view if every move that every performer ever did was just an armbar or a headlock. In that regard. In this match, this is when Bob Caudle says, you know, JR, this is a different breed of wrestlers. These men have college degrees.
Yeah.
I almost spit the water everywhere.
Holy shit.
What the fuck?
That was awesome.
There's also a point where Pillman tries to do a sunset flip off the top rope to Bobby Eaton, but he jumps way too far. And so he flies over Bobby, and Bobby has to back up so that he can fall back. That was pretty awesome.
That was
pretty awesome. Apparently,
I guess they didn't teach that in college.
Oh, yeah. Stan Lane was a fucking martial arts expert, too. That was the other part that I really liked.
The only man trained by the greatest, Ric Flair.
Sweet Stan.
Yep.
That's such a good name. I love that. Sweet Stan. Sounds like he should be like a bass player in a badass fucking 70s band.
The Midnight Express are so good at tag team moves and stuff. Like, they are so much better than Pillman and Zink. Just like Pillman and Zink clearly aren't full-time tag team wrestlers. You can tell.
No.
You know,
Zink is clearly not a full-time wrestler at this. I mean, Zink's weird because it's like you think
his name is the Z-Man.
Bobby Eaton at one point does a slingshot backbreaker to, I think, Pillman. Like, lifts him up, bounces him off the ropes, and then hits a fucking backbreaker on him. Like, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. 1990, folks. It's the power cocaine will do for you.
I also think Bobby Eaton I think he's possibly the most unheralded wrestler of all time. He is so fucking good. Everything he does is great.
You could say it's beautiful.
It's
It is.
He's so fucking smooth, like butter.
Yep.
When everything he does,
it's like butter,
top notch.
And then Eaton hits a perfect top rope leg drop on Pillman. Pillman kicks out of the Alabama Jam.
Yeah,
it wasn't the Alabama Jam yet, but still
at that point, no.
And then the refs trying to get Zink out of the ring, and Stan Lane hits an enziguri on trying to get Pillman out of the ring, and Stan Lane hits an enziguri on Z-Man. Eaton rolls him into a small package. And
I think that was the
savate
match. Kick.
He jumped. It connected like an enziguri would connect.
I think it was an enziguri, but I think they called it a savate kick. I think you're right. But are you going to fucking argue with Jim Ross and Bob Caudle?
One
of them might not even be with us anymore.
Bob Caudle's dead for sure.
Yeah, exactly. So don't fucking besmirch his name. He called it a
not
savate
fucking.
kick.
I didn't fucking besmirch shit. You look at YouTube besmirching my name while I'm sitting here right in front of you.
Well, you're not a legend in the biz.
You're not a fucking captain either.
People of bitches.
Next up was the moment we've all been waiting for. The only thing they've been talking about. If this was Super Clash 3, it would have been the women's battle royal, but it wasn't. It was Capital Combat 90, and it was fucking Robocop. And that was a pretty good It was a pretty good Robocop costume, I thought.
It was actually the dude. It was what's his face?
No. Peter Weller?
Yeah. Yes.
No. Was it really?
Yes.
Do you want to be the third person to decide this? Was it really Peter Weller? No, it was not Peter Weller.
It sure as fuck was. I looked it up.
It was?
Yes.
You looked it up too?
You have Gordon Soley, who Jim Ross always makes sound like the king of all pro wrestling announcing, right? This guy's been doing this shit since the late 50s, all right? And then he's back there. He's probably drunk off his ass, but he's like, I'm back here with Robocop, and the doors are opening. The doors open, fog comes out. Like, all this shit happens. Then you see Robocop. Then the camera goes batty and cuts out. But Robocop's coming. Sting walks out in his Zubaz. He's wearing his Zubaz with his Ruse shoes as well, because they had an endorsement with Ruse as well at the time. He walks out. He starts clapping people's hands, and then it's time for Robocop. And the funniest fucking shit happens, because Robocop comes out, and the way this guy has to walk, because he has to walk quite a ways in a Robocop costume, but he looks like he's like doing this weird little power walk thing that you never see him do. He doesn't do it in the movies, but like, please go. We need a GIF of just Robocop walking.
Yeah.
And so the four horsemen ambush Stinger. And they put him in the cage that Jim Cornette was just caught in. Oh, my God.
Mm-hmm.
And then Robocop closes in on him. They're not fucking with this guy, because why didn't he just kill them all? That's what he would do normally.
And he's a time traveler, because Robocop takes place in, like, what year? 2000 or 97 or something?
Something
right?
like
Isn't
that.
it in the future?
Yeah, I bet. Probably.
Anyway.
And then Robocop grabs the rubber bars on the cage that are clearly fake and pulls them apart so that he can help Sting get out of the cage. Sting's out of the cage. The horsemen are spooked. And they run away.
You're telling me that they fucking took a dead guy, used, bleeding edge technology to bring him back to life, reanimate his corpse, power him with tiny little servos and gears, and then they did all that to put a fucking rubber door on the cage. Fuck that, Blade. That was a fucking steel door. That was a steel cage. Why would they go through all that effort of making a cyborg to just have a fake door? Do you remember that
talk we had about like Santa and stuff?
Fuck you.
It's still real to degree, damn it.
I just don't buy it. I don't buy it. That's all.
So Robocop breaking Sting out of the cage was fucking hilarious.
Yeah. The horseman like skedaddling away was the best, though.
Yeah, they're running away. That was great.
That guy could hardly even move.
Sid running was really funny. It's like Sid running from Robocop. That's hilarious. Also, we go back to fucking sexy man himself, Tony Schiavone, who's standing there with the junkyard dog. It's announced that the JYD is going to return to the NWA. Jim Cornette comes from behind and says, this interview time was supposed to go to the winners of the last match, the new U.S. tag champions, the Midnight Express. What the hell are you doing here? Get out of here. You haven't been here for years. You're not about the NWA. Where have you been? And Dog says he's been at, and then he gives an address, and then Jim Cornette goes, wait a minute, that's my mama's house.
That's right, Cornette. I'm your daddy.
He says, I'm your daddy. And then Cornette's like begs off, like, hey, like, don't hurt me or something. And then when JYD turns his back, Cornette tries to hit him with the racket, but YD turns around, grabs the racket away from him, and then proceeds to have what can best be described as a really bad few years in the NWA. Yeah.
How close is this to that one event where remember when he was wearing the tuxedo top, but he had the jeans on the bottom?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
How close is this to that event?
It's not far. I think JYD's there for like 2 or 3 years.
Okay. How close is this to The Undertaker becoming The Undertaker, too? We didn't really touch on that in the beginning.
It's about 4 months. It's about 4 months.
Damn.
This is June, and then in November, he's The Undertaker.
So this is before
Survivor Series.
Yeah, and then when does IRS go over?
I would say like 8 months, like in 91, I think.
Wow, okay. And then Flair is how long after that? Like a year?
Flair leaves about a year from
Jesus
at
Christ.
Yeah.
Wow, RoboCop ran all the bad guys out of WCW, I guess.
He did.
Sure did.
He did. He knew how to do his job,
Yeah, fuck him. Fuck him. That's what I have to say. Fuck him.
I'm not gonna fuck him.
Well, next we've got the Freebirds, Michael P.S. Hayes, and the other guy,
Jimmy Jam Garvin.
Jimmy Jam.
Versus the Rock and Roll Express.
Like, he wasn't a horseman in the original. Or not a horseman, I'm sorry, Freebird.
Yeah,
but he wasn't a horseman either. But like, I always liked that, like, when they would do interviews and Michael Hayes would be like, oh, Jimmy was always a Freebird. Just because he wasn't with the Freebirds, he was still a Freebird, Daddy. We just brought him in. It's like, I don't know, it's kind of cool. It's like, yeah, he was just one of our buddies. Like, he fit, you know? I mean, I understand this was not the Freebirds and this was not like the cool era of the Freebirds at all, but like, I don't know. It works.
I feel like we're just skipping right over the fact that the Rock and Roll Express came out on a bit of a platform that had a vintage
with a jukebox.
Oh yeah, they did. That's right.
I have that in my notes. The Rock and Roll Express coming out with a jukebox was rad. And also, what the hell were the rules of this match?
Well, hold on.
Oh yeah.
The thing that I really enjoyed about the Freebirds is that they're very aware that their act is tired and over the hill. Like, they are a very self-aware group. Okay. So like, they only get more so over the next few years where like Hayes starts getting fat and like, they just like, they don't look like athletes anymore, but like they still do here. But like Hayes is like skipping to the ring like he's the coolest shit in the world. Okay.
It's
and
the original
Bad
Jericho.
Street's playing and it's awesome. And they're in a corporal punishment match, which is a strap match is what it is. But they're in Washington, D.C., so they've got to celebrate corporal punishment.
But they're not strapped together. The straps just appear randomly later on in the match, and they're just two belts tied together, right?
That's what I'm like. This isn't a strap match. It's just like, hey, like, we're having a tag match, but like, there's some straps you can whip people with if you wanna.
With our belts.
They had a sale going on at TJ Maxx, and they were like, hey, we got a good deal on belts. Let's call this a corporal punishment match.
I actually did not hate this match either. I was ready to hate it. I was ready to make fun of it, and I was like kind of digging it.
I was like, I don't want to see this match when it started. I really didn't want to see it.
No.
Like I felt kind of done. And I ended up loving this match because Michael Hayes,
because it's the first good match.
Michael Hayes is a legit horrible person, right? But the way he works the crowd is unfucking believable in this.
Yeah.
Dude, his fucking high knee, that strut.
Yep. He just, I mean, they fucking hate this guy, and not in a sitting on their hands, not doing anything kind of way. You just don't see people work crowds like this anymore. Also, both teams are so good. Like, Robert and Ricky, like, pull some like shenanigans in this match. There's a lot of comedy spots in this match that are perfectly executed between all four guys. This was a really fun match. I ended up being here for it.
Yeah, big time. I mean, my notes say exactly what you just said. Like, just like there was just life to it. There was funny. It was a good match. And Hayes, a lot of people do that shit. The Samoans did it too, where it's like, shake my hand, don't shake my hand. Maybe you want to shake my hand. Maybe you don't want to shake my hand. I'm going to go walk around for a while. And that whole, like, you know, getting the crowd riled up. But like 7 out of 10 times, it just pisses people off and it's not fun. When Michael Hayes does it, man, you are never so happy to be mad. You know, like, I love.
You know who's really good at that right now is Kyle Fletcher.
Yeah. Oh, Fletcher's great at it.
Yep.
Fletcher's great at it.
Figuring out how to read the crowd. Yeah. You mentioned
the cartoonishness of the Freebirds, while they're trying to be badasses, is what makes them so great, because they're dopes. Total fucking poser dopes. They're calling themselves a band. They're not a fucking band. And
he didn't even put his eyeliner on very well. It looked like it was all crusted off and shit.
And all four guys are just awesome in this match. The match ends. Ricky Morton hits a sunset flip on Michael Hayes and pins him. Lots of sunset flips in this show.
and there are two old ass motherfuckers like Statler and Waldorf from the Muppets sitting in the front row, and they get into it with Michael Hayes, and they're just like, those guys are screaming at him, man. That's
we
so
got
much
the
fun.
audience member of the night is coming up in the next match. Oh my God. So we get an interview with Doug Furness that literally doesn't matter at all. It means nothing.
And what's his connection at that point?
So Doug Furness he's a wrestler. He would become part of Furness and LaFon in WWF.
That's where I know him from.
Much later. They were also, I forget what they were called, but they started in All Japan. Doug was much bigger in Japan than he ever was in the States, but he has a little run here. He's just such a plain Jane. He can't talk. He sucks.
He's the world's strongest man.
I mean, they called him that for a minute. I don't think it's true, but
and why?
For what there was some good news in all of this is we don't get another interview with the Steiners, and Doom comes out with Teddy Long to a theme that doesn't fit them at all. And it's the same song that Teddy came out to earlier in the night. It's this like real synthy, like Luther Vandross sounding track. That's just like, why would you have Doom come out to this? Like, that doesn't make any sense. The Steiners come out. Ron Simmons and Butch Reed look like absolute meat, just total badasses. Yeah. These two teams had great chemistry. And before the match even starts, a big fat fucking hillbilly in a Virginia is for Lovers shirt is screaming at Ron Simmons as though he's being held back for his own safety because this idiot thinks that he is going to take on Ron fucking Simmons or Butch Reed.
Right?
Like, you dumb fuck, you would be dead if you approach these gentlemen. Like, you are going to die.
Just let him go.
Yeah, I would have let him go. I would have let him meet his maker. This match does not follow the typical NWA match template. It's all gas, no breaks, big moves, big bumps.
Doom was so badass, dude.
Dude, Doom is fucking cool as shit. Yeah.
Doom was cool as fuck. Yeah. You can tell that the Steiners respect these dudes because they bump like madmen for them.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
And Rick Steiner's not stiffing anybody with these Steiner lines. You know what I mean?
No, it's fucking great. And the Steiners, I feel bad for any young athletes who went to their local gym or whatever and found that all of the leotards had been bought because those motherfuckers are wearing singlets that are 3 sizes too small. And it looks so uncomfortable. Dude, you were not even buying those from the women's section. You went to the children's section to buy those singlets.
Yes.
Fucking horrible.
Teeny tiny.
I did love it. Dude, Scott hit the wildest looking Frankensteiner towards the end of this match.
Yeah.
It was fucking insane.
Was it Simmons he hit it on?
I believe so, yes.
Whoever he hit it on dove headfirst into it. So it looked even crazier. But this was a fun match. A lot of good action.
Simmons just flopping around like a fucking fish every time he gets hit with something. And he's just he's great.
Simmons has always had one of my favorite looks, man. It's so simple, but it fits. It just looks so badass. Just basically plain black tights with the little single black strips on his arm. Just fucking badass. It's the look he'd wear for pretty much the rest of his career, except for Farouk era. And except for Nation of Domination era Farouk, because he was Farouk his whole WWF career. But
he's 6 years prior to Farouk at this point, and so he's 2 years away from being the world champion. He's going to be in ECW in 3 or 4 years, for a cup of coffee before he becomes Farouk. But yeah, these guys beat the shit out of each other. The Steiners had already beaten these guys in a mask versus title match, and they had to unmask, and to surprise of absolutely no one, revealed that they were Butch Reed and Ron Simmons. But Butch Reed, interestingly enough, he only wrestled for another 2 years after this. He's pretty much done.
Really?
pretty soon after this, he turns on Ron Simmons. I thought they had a lot more juice as a tag team, quite honestly, because these guys, fuck, if they were in my promotion, they'd just be tag champs forever. Like, long time.
Yeah, Doom, this was right when I was starting to get into WCW, is like a little bit after this. And Doom was like one of those, why'd you break those guys up? Like, that seems fucking cool.
I think it might have been because Butch Reed wanted to retire or leave maybe. At the very least. And so that's when they turned Ron Simmons babyface. Which
was awesome, because I did like Ron.
Oh, I love Ron Simmons, man.
Everybody's just throwing everybody all over the goddamn place.
And even when the Steiners are on defense, they're still on offense. Like there's never a point where the Steiners are not throwing fucking clotheslines and hitting you as hard as they possibly can for real.
Yep.
It's just, just hard.
This felt like a fight. It just felt like a legit,
this
like, we are going to beat the shit out of each other. And finish comes, ref is distracted by Teddy Long, I think. Rick is about to do a belly-to-belly suplex on one of them. And the other, I think it's Simmons, is on top. Then Butch Reed comes up from behind, grabs Steiner's hair, pulls him down. Simmons lands on top of him and gets the pin. Doom become the tag champs. And this was a big moment for them.
Lackluster double team. I thought, I was hoping
it doesn't
for like a
look
bigger,
like it would finish a guy after they've just beat the shit out of each other like this.
Yeah, like you just pulled his hair. It's a lot of the finishes seem like that, where it's like they just don't kind of we just double team them. We'll figure it out. It's fine. But whatever. Well, I like those guys winning, and I like that era, those little blue belts. Those are cool.
Speaking of flat finishes,
the
main event. It's Ric Flair
with woman
headlining against the total package, Lex Luger, whom he had just wrestled at Wrestle War earlier this year and beat by countout. Okay. In the main event.
Can I say that in this match, Lex Luger was wearing possibly the ugliest shade of green trunks I have ever seen in my life. Like, if this was like, you know how Pantone has like color, like this would literally be like whooping cough green.
Yeah. Well, neon was a new thing in 1990.
Yeah. As a kid, I really thought Lex was going to win. I don't know why. I really thought that the cage was going to keep everybody out, because cage matches up until this point were kind of a big deal still.
And this was like almost a Hell in a Cell type cage. Like, this wasn't the normal, like, on the apron cage. This was like around the ring, so you could actually go to the outside.
And
so woman actually stays in the cage. On the top. Yeah, and it was curved on the top, so you couldn't climb it, which is really funny when Ric Flair tries to get out later.
Yeah, 2 times.
Yeah.
Ric Flair spent a lot of this match trying to climb out.
Yeah, I couldn't figure that out. Like, they kept trying to climb it, and it's like, that's not even the rules of the match. Like, and you couldn't climb it.
No. What had happened was Sting was supposed to get a world title shot, and it was supposed to be a Wrestle War, but he blew out his patella at Clash of Champions. So they have Luger challenge Flair. Flair beats him by count out.
What's a patella?
It's in your knee. Patella tendon.
It's an imaginary thing that wrestlers have to rehab. I don't know. So it always just seems like that's a common. It's a common. It is real. I'm kidding.
Luger was a heel fighting Flair, who had just turned heel at Wrestle War. Sting was at ringside, and Sting slapped Luger and was like, "Come on, get in there, go get him." And Luger turned babyface by defending Sting from the Horsemen, but in doing so got counted out. And so they're wrestling 3-4 months later, and I think Luger is going to win for some reason. But Sting's almost back from his injury.
It kind of makes sense, though, the way you're describing it. I kind of get it.
Yeah.
How old were you?
9, 10.
Yeah.
10.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when I was 9 and I thought The Rock was going to win every fucking match he was in.
Right. So they continue to tell you that Luger had been in the hospital for 2 weeks with
105 degree fever on at least 3 to 4 days.
Yeah.
right?
Well, that's probably why his tights were fucking whooping cough green. Fucking bird flu.
I didn't even know if he was going to be able to get him up for that Human Torture Act, but he got him. Press slam.
They made Luger look dominant in this match, man.
Yeah, but all Lex does is clothesline and press slam. He does it so many fucking times. Flair, of course, gets the crimson.
The vegan version of Nutella.
That's awesome.
Well put, Jangle. Well put.
That's good, Jangle.
Was that Kurt Jangle is a genius? Get that back up there.
No. I went too far in a chat, and I'll never be allowed to forget it. But yeah, they said he'd been in the hospital for 2 weeks. Then his knee injury turned into a staph infection. He had 105-degree fever. He had just checked out of the hospital that morning.
Mm-hmm.
And, knowing the outcome, it's like they're clearly building you up for Lex not to win, right? Like they're making all these excuses.
Oh, yeah, they're giving excuses.
Yeah. And
but on the flip side, it's like, well, but maybe that's why he's going to overcome the odds and he's going to win in your 9-year-old brain.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Yeah.
Sid, Ole, and Arn come down, and immediately Jim Ross goes, "Where's Barry Windham?" And it's like, Jim, what the fuck are you doing, man?
I didn't even know that Barry was a horseman at that point until
he had just come back. Come back. So, but it's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Where's the guy who's going to come in?
Gave away the game, JR.
Yeah. I mean, Gorilla Monsoon used to do that all the time. He would want to look really smart. So he would always notice the thing you're supposed to miss.
Right. I wonder if Hook is going to turn on Hangman.
Right. JR immediately calls out what's about to happen. Then, while they have the same camera angle, the cage starts moving upwards and the announcers have to pretend not to notice. Then, the camera finally cuts to Barry Windham sliding under the ring that's being raised off the ground. And the cage that was supposed to keep all the horsemen out, the cage match ends in...
They start yelling because JR's like, "Oh, Ole's got control of the cage! Ole's taking control of the cage!"
They end the match in a disqualification.
Mm-hmm.
A cage match ends in a DQ.
Well, before that, Sting had come out.
Well, and he's just... They have lowered the cage again, and now Sting can only watch helplessly as his friend is just gang banged by the horseman in the ring.
If you had a new
just
friend
like in
Robocop.
real life, Robocop is nowhere to be found when you actually need help from the police.
Yep.
Exactly. Robocop, thinking his job was done, he had already gone to the pay window, baby, and he was out spending his winnings. That's okay though, because Sting had another friend. A 7'7" Argentinian.
I had already forgotten again.
Named Elegante, a guy who looked like he was dressed to go play laser tag.
Holy shit.
Comes out.
Yeah.
He's got some kind of head thing on. He walks very slow.
He's smiling his ass off.
Everything's slow. He's just a peaceful, gentle man, and he had no business in that violent world of wrestling.
My favorite part of this scrum at the end is everyone waiting to take their shot. Like Sting is beating up on Arn, and Sid is just standing there watching, waiting to grab.
Can't wait to hit that motherfucker. And then you also have a redo. It's cool storytelling. So at the Clash, where Sting had blown out his patella, they interviewed him as he's being carried to the back, and Flair runs down the aisle, and they were trying to tell him, "Don't jump on him. He's hurt. He's hurt." And Flair did not read the sign. Okay, so Flair had jumped on Sting while he was being interviewed with a blown out fucking patella. And then Flair is being interviewed after this match, and he gives a promo that is actually slightly more coherent than the first one he gave earlier in the night before he wrestled.
No, it wasn't. No. I don't know what you heard, because all I heard was Ric Flair come down the ramp and they go to interview him, and Flair is just like, "Look at me! Look at this! Look at he's just covered in blood. His eyes are like just dilated as fuck, and he is just screaming. He looked insane.
And as if to tell you that Sting is recovered, Sting runs down and jumps on Flair the way Flair had jumped on him. And they have a little brawl. Elegante very slowly walks. He walks slower than Robocop. I mean, slower.
Yeah.
When they first show him, it's like the first camera angle of him is like from behind, and he's like just slowly like gently moving away, and it looks like the classic Bigfoot shot, you know, where like you just he's kind of frozen. Oh man, he's fucking great. And then
Elegante was a basketball player that had been drafted by the Atlanta Falcons, also owned by Ted Turner. And they realized he sucked at basketball, so they were trying to find something else for him to do with all the money they were paying him. And he was under contract with Turner for like 2 or 3 years.
The Atlanta Falcons are a football team, Blake.
Or the Atlanta Hawks, sorry. And he eventually goes to the WWF, becomes Giant Gonzalez with actually far worse ring attire there than he has here. You guys get the laser tag thing, right? He looks like this guy's going to play some laser tag. Yeah.
Like a Spartacus laser tag. Like, he's got like a gown and stuff on, you know, or not a gown,
exactly,
but like a skirt. But Giant Gonzalez
he's got like the triangle, like
like he's like like Thundar the Barbarian or He-Man or something. But dude, Giant Gonzalez, that is the fuck. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
Well, you're making a face, Brett.
All Robocops are bastards.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was naked, basically. That gimmick.
Yep.
Oh, like Attack on Titan. That's what he looks like. Anyway,
it's so bad. And then he retired from wrestling. I don't know why. He was a very skilled wrestler, but he retires from wrestling.
7 or 8 world titles later, right?
And then he's legit 7'7" too. And then he retires from wrestling. He moves back to Argentina and lives on his family's farm. He has diabetes, and he sends out these tweets.
Oh, geez.
As he's suffering from diabetes and what it turns out to be dying. And he's like the sweetest guy. And he's just talking about his struggle with diabetes. And then he dies in like 2010, I think.
Wow.
Jorge Gonzalez, I believe his name was. But anyway, R.I.P. Elegante.
Well, so Giant Gonzalez was like his shoot name.
Yeah.
I mean,
his last name was
like,
Gonzalez.
in a sense.
His first name is not Giant. But
but his buddies probably called him that, like
Elegante.
Hey, tall guy.
Gonzalez.
Whatever. People, hey, you're bald and things like that. They probably called him a giant. You know?
Are you trying to get something off your chest here?
No, nothing at all. Fucking
so
Captain Cadillac.
I'm wearing this captain's hat from now on.
Captain Margarita.
What was your takeaway from the show, Brett?
All Robocops are bastards. They're never there when you need them.
It's true. Cadillac.
Yeah. I mean, it was a show that happened, and I watched it.
It was fun. No, it was a fun show. I enjoyed watching it. It was good. I mean, I'll be honest. Like, my brain has been I watched it this morning, and because my brain has been been like trying to deal with the heaviness of the world that's happening right now. And this weekend was a very fucking dark period in our, I think, American history. And so it was good to get my mind off of things for a little bit. You know what I mean? It was a fun show.
1,000,000%.
5 tag matches, 3 singles matches, and one of those singles matches is Paul Ellering versus Teddy Long. Okay.
Yeah.
Captain Mike Rotunda should not have been on this show. All right. Like, that match was unnecessary. It was fine, but unnecessary. It was cool to see the Samoan SWAT team. It was cool to see Rikishi in the before times. And when I say that, I mean before his ass grew so much.
I thought it was nice to see WCW before it was WCW, but it wasn't really the NWA. Like, I didn't catch that transition period. So, like, I don't know. It was like a weird, like, you could see the growing pains.
Yeah.
Which you always kind of can with old WCW. But, like, I don't know. It was just kind of interesting to get that, you know? So it's a slice of history I've never seen.
This is one of my favorite eras of wrestling. I mean, because it's when I first really got into it, but also there was a lot of great shit that happened before the Nitro era. And even though, there weren't a lot of great shows because there was so much fucking goofy bullshit that would happen, it was great.
Do you want to tell the people what we're watching next week?
I think you want to tell the people what we're watching next week. Yeah, Tron!
Me?
Yeah. Do you know what we're watching next week?
We're watching the 1990 Royal Rumble, right?
Yes.
Goddamn right we are.
Just the Rumble match, though.
Just the Rumble match.
Since we're just watching the Rumble match, maybe we'll also talk about some AEW or some other shit that's going on in the wrestling world to fill some time,
That was by fan request. If there is a show that you want us to review, you can always ask on our socials. The Hard Way podcast. I don't remember what our social handles are. Very useful. You can also ask us at Sickos Club.
Sure, you can find us.
Yeah, if you see me on the
our
street.
Our social handles are iBlade Daily, PegMe_Bundy.
Right. Professor _ degree. I think I'm the only professor degree.
Or Sickos.club.
Yeah.
There you go.
And next week it's Royal Rumble 90.
But yes, like Blade said, please, if there's shows you want us to watch and review and talk about, we would love to hear that. We want more fan person community interaction.
They're Brett Michelle. He's iBlade Daily. I'm Professor Degree, and this is Professional Wrestling the Hard Way.
Bye.
Sickos Club.